On the 24th of May 2019, SpaceX launched a Falcon rocket carrying 60 satellites into space. This marked the start of their ambitious Starlink project, which aims to provide high quality broadband internet service to the most remote parts of the world, while also providing low latency connectivity to the already well connected parts. Since then, SpaceX has produced and launched Starlink satellites at a previously unforeseen rate. As of the making of this video, SpaceX has launched 955 Starlink satellites into low Earth orbit. A Starlink satellite weighs about 260 kilograms. It consists of 4 phased array antennas to receive data packets from the ground stations. Apart from this, a Starlink satellite also has a laser-based data transmission system, a singular solar panel for power generation, star tracker for navigation, and ion thrusters for propulsion. The main purpose of the Starlink satellites is to provide internet service. So why do the Starlink satellites have propulsion system? Well, there are few main reasons for this. First of all, when a Falcon 9 rocket launches 60 Starlink satellites, they are put into an elliptical orbit between 213 and 330 kilometers. The operational altitude for Starlink satellites is 550 kilometers. This is where the propulsion system comes in. Starlink satellites use ion engines for propulsion. Simply put, ion engines work by ionizing the inert propellant like xenon and firing them out of the spacecraft using electric potential, which provides thrust. However, an interesting point to note here is that SpaceX has opted to use krypton as the propellant rather than the commonly used xenon. Xenon is ideally used in ion drives due to its high atomic mass. This high atomic mass allows xenon to provide more thrust per atom. At the same time, xenon has high storage density, allowing it to be stored for long durations on a spacecraft. On the other hand, krypton has lower atomic mass, which means lower thrust per atom. At the same time, energy required to ionize krypton is higher than that of xenon. But there are some advantages of using krypton as propellant. The important one is the relative abundance of krypton as compared to xenon. This means that the price of krypton is very low when compared with xenon. 1 kg of xenon costs about $1,800, while the same amount of krypton costs only $300. For the Starlink project, price is a very important factor. If SpaceX want to complete the constellation of 12,000 Starlink satellites, they need to do it in a very cost-effective way. By saving cost for propellant, SpaceX can effectively save millions of dollars, which can be used in improving the satellites. So, using krypton is ultimately a better option. As mentioned earlier, the Falcon 9 rocket will place the Starlink satellites in an elliptical orbit. Once deployed, the Starlink satellites will use the onboard propulsion to raise its altitude to 550 kilometers. Apart from raising the altitude, the propulsion system will also be used to deorbit the Starlink satellites once their operational lifetime is complete. The system will also be used to avoid collisions with space debris. Starlink satellites have autonomous collision avoidance system. The satellites utilize the Department of Defense's debris tracking system to autonomously perform maneuvers to avoid collision with space debris and other satellites. Another important use of the propulsion system is to maintain the satellite's altitude during its lifetime. Even though we define the region above 100 kilometers as space, the atmosphere of Earth still extends to very high altitudes. As the Starlink satellites orbit at an altitude of 550 kilometers, even though very thin, the atmosphere of Earth is still present. Due to this, the satellite experiences drag, which over time results in the decay of the satellite's orbit. For instance, the International Space Station orbits Earth at an altitude of about 400 kilometers. At this altitude, the tiny bit of air results in deceleration. Due to this, the International Space Station is losing about 5 centimeters per second of velocity and 100 meters of altitude every single day. As a result, about once every month, International Space Station fires up its thrusters to regain the lost altitude. Similarly, the ion propulsion system of Starlink satellite will help maintain the orbit and also make sure that they are functional in the constellation. That's all for today's video. Do let me know your views on the Starlink project in the comment section. As always, if you like the content, do consider subscribing the channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.